to the When at Work podcast. You're with host Julian Leahy. Today I'm joined by David Doss, Rhonda Parker Taylor, and Marie Birtel. Welcome to the show, guests.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
That was just easy and painless, wasn't it?
Yes.
Not. All right, we're going to play Jeopardy, and then we're going to meet our wonderful guests. Let's light up the board. The categories today are which direction are you headed? So it's geography. Internal rhymes. These are words that have rhymes in them. Like, you know, a machine gun might make tat-tat sound. I guess that would be a rhyme. It's full words that have AH in them. What network? Television shows, you have to tell me what network they were on. Offbeat museums and stupid answers, which is pretty self-explanatory. All right, David, you're on the left. You can kick things off. What category would you like?
Gosh, I think I'll start with It's Awful.
It's awful. We'll do 100, eh? If you're convinced you're the one true savior, odds are that you have this type of complex.
Messiah complex.
Messiah complex. Like a rotund former president. I won't go into that. All right, David, you're in control. What would you like?
Let's do It's Awful for 200.
It's awful for 200. Hard reddish-brown wood of the genus Swietenia. Some sort of tree wood. It makes beautiful furniture. It's expensive. One of the best woods there is. It's got a lot of syllables.
Manzanita?
No, I think... Marie, do you know the answer? And you're being polite?
Mahogany?
Yeah, that's it. You got it.
Yeah.
And Rhonda is nodding as well, which I think maybe Rhonda knew as well. So I'll tell you what, guys, just holler the answer. If you know it, no one will get mad. Marie, you're in control.
I would go for stupid answers, please, for 200.
200. A 2009 study recommended treating heroin addicts with diacetylmorphine, the active ingredient in what? It's a stupid answer because it's like...
Morphine?
Cocaine?
It's the active ingredient in heroin. So you're treating heroin addicts with heroin, which makes it a stupid answer. They were already being treated. You're in control still, Marie.
Okay, then I go with what network, please, for 100?
What network for 100? Sports Center is on what United States network? Also, the UFC.
I don't even understand the question.
Well, if you don't watch American sports, it'll be hard for you. Who said that? What was that?
CNN. That was Rhonda.
What did you
CNN?
say? ESPN?
Mm-hmm.
You got it. Well done, Rhonda. Rhonda, you're in control.
Let's do which direction are you headed for? Let's go for the big enchilada and go 500.
500. Which direction are you headed from Tegucigalpa to Guatemala City? Which way are you headed? You sound like you're in South America.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
I would say north.
North?
South.
South? Marie, just guess. East or west?
South.
Okay. It's west, unfortunately.
Okay.
Rhonda, you're still in control. Help me, Rhonda.
Okay, let's do stupid answers for 500.
Stupid answers for 500. China's Song dynasty was noted for its contribution to the zoo, a form of what?
Ooh.
A bit of a hint. The answer's usually in the question with these.
Zoo.
A form of zoo? Anybody else?
China Song Dynasty.
The answer is song. The Song Dynasty created the zoo, which is a form of song. That is a stupid answer. It's a stupid question. Rhonda, you're still in control.
Let's do stupid answers 400.
Stupid answers 400. If today is January 14, 1952, this show is premiering on NBC.
The Today Show.
Ah, gotcha. And it says today in the question. You got it, Rhonda. Well done.
Nice.
Stupid answers for 300.
Stupid answers for 300. This lubricant's name means water displacement 40th attempt.
WD-40.
Ah,
That's a good one.
well done. David Doss, you're in control.
Let's see. Let's try internal rhymes for 100.
Internal rhymes 100. This term for an important person sounds like a giant toupee. And it rhymes.
Big wig.
Big wig is correct. Well done, David.
I'll go for internal rhymes 200.
Internal rhymes 200. It can be a meeting among business colleagues or a Native American ceremonial feast.
Powwow.
Powwow is correct. Well done, David. You're on fire.
On a roll. Let's go with internal rhymes 300.
Internal rhymes 300. It's a sturdy carry-all worn by hikers as well as students. And it rhymes. Backpack is correct. Who knew you were an expert at internal rhymes, David? You can put this on your LinkedIn.
Yeah. It's a new
skill. I'm going to endorse you for this skill.
Much appreciated. Let's go with internal rhymes 400.
Internal rhymes 400. A National Association of Wanderers says you can still be this four-letter term even if you never rode a freight train. What people who ride Wanderers, freight train. I'm thinking.
Hobo.
I was going to say. Let's take a look. A hobo is correct.
Internal rhymes 500.
Internal rhymes 500. Why not? This adjective meaning unkempt and varied is often applied to disorganized armies or militias. Unkempt.
Pell-mell.
What was it?
Pell-mell.
Pell-mell. Wow. These are words that do not exist in my... Ragtag is the answer. Pell-mell might actually be a street in London. David, you're still in control.
Alright, let's see. Let's go for which direction are you headed for 100?
Which direction are you headed? Was that 100?
Correct.
From Daegu, South Korea to Tokyo, Japan. Which direction are you headed?
North.
East.
Oh.
I'm hoping some German questions come up, Marie. Don't worry.
It would be nice.
It would be nice. David, you're still in control.
Let's see. Which direction are you headed for 200? Don't exactly have a good track record on this, but...
Oh, here we go.
Oh,
From
okay, German
Hamburg to
question.
Stuttgart in Germany. Which direction are you headed?
Oh my god.
South.
Marie?
Yes, south.
Oh, David, you got
South,
the
I would
German
say, too.
question. You were too quick. David, you're still in
I'm in
control.
Hamburg.
Oh, you're in Hamburg.
Fair.
It's also where our hamburgers
Yeah.
are from, isn't it? No? I don't know.
Yes.
I think
David?
so.
David, you're still in control.
Which direction are you headed for 300?
Which direction for 300 from Cairo to Ankara?
East.
North. These ones you got a 25% chance, and you guys are about none for 5.
We have a bad track record. Yeah, about a 25% success rate so far. Which direction are you headed for 400?
Which direction for 400 from Galway to Cork in Ireland?
Oh, boy, oh boy. I want to say...
It's kind of like that, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, and it's down the bottom of Ireland. Cork is down the bottom, which would be
South.
west. That's my guess.
Southwest.
Yeah, southwest. Who agreed with me? Marie?
I'll say west.
Rhonda.
Maybe.
It's south.
Oh, okay.
Rhonda, you said south first of all, didn't you?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll give it to you. You just got to blurt out answers and you'll get
What
points.
what network for 200?
What network for 200? Dinner Impossible. There's a network. It's on cable or HBO or something, and have a lot of cooking shows on it.
Food Network.
I think Rhonda snuck in there just by a millisecond. It is correct. Well done, Rhonda.
What network? 300.
What network for 300? Project Runway, formerly on Bravo.
So you're not saying Bravo? Is that what is the question? So I would
Apparently
say
it's on something else.
VH1.
VH1, let's take a look. Lifetime.
Oh, yeah.
That one has all the kind of boring shows on it from memory. Sorry. You're in control still, Rhonda.
What network for 400?
What network? 400 Man vs. Wild with Bear Grylls. Famous for what his favourite drink was.
Discover.
Discovery sounds good to me. It is correct. Well done, Rhonda.
Nice.
What network? 500?
What network? 500. The Closer with, I think, Spade, was it? No, that was Blacklist. The Closer. It's like a negotiator, hostage negotiator.
Yes. MTV.
MTV. TNT.
Oh.
Is that still around?
Yeah, it's still around.
Still around. Nobody pays for cable anymore. Everyone's got Netflix.
Stupid answers for 100.
Stupid answers for 100. In Hollywood, it's the major street 2 blocks north of Sunset Boulevard.
Hollywood Boulevard.
Hollywood Boulevard. The answers to the question. Well done, David Doss.
Let's see. Are we out of stupid answers? Okay,
Yeah.
that was gonna be. Let's see. Let's try. It's awful for 300.
Awful for 300. This slang term for an unnecessary article of ornamentation comes from the chorus of Camptown Races. What? Hang on. Does anyone know what the Camptown Races is? No, me either.
Ornamentation.
Unnecessary ornament. I'll say artifact, but that's not actually AH. Let's take a look. This one's tough. It is a doodah.
Oh, Camptown Races sing your song, doodah,
there
doodah.
you
Yeah,
go.
okay. Yeah.
See, I always thought that was the Foghorn Leghorn song, you know? The big chicken on Looney Tunes.
Yeah.
I'm showing my age. Nobody's seen it. All right. You're
Well,
in control still, David.
It's awful for 400.
It's awful for 400. 3-dimensional figure with 8 plain faces.
Why do I do this to myself?
3-dimensional figure. Like a geometric figure? It's a geometrical question.
Octahedron?
Wow, David. That seems to have AH in it. And you got it. Well done. Year 9 mathematics just came back for you there.
Yep.
Well done.
Using that high school poetry and mathematics class. Yeah, something like that. 500. It's awful for 500.
Awful for 500. Now meaning a type of woven carpet, it formerly referred to a residence set aside for a noble woman in India. A type of woven carpet referred to a residence set aside for a noble woman in India. I know that a carpet in India is often called a dari. I think it's D-H-U-R-R-I-E. No, I'm not sure on this one. Let's take a look at the answer. It is a mahal, like the Taj Mahal.
Okay, that makes sense.
There you go. You're in control. Offbeat Museums is where we're headed.
Offbeat Museums for 100.
A museum at Temple University's School of Podiatric, gotta be careful with that one, medicine, has some 900 pairs of these
Shoes.
in its collection. Shoes, was that Marie or Rhonda?
It was Marie.
Yes.
Marie, shoes is correct. Well done. This could be your category.
Oh, for once. So I take Offbeat Museums 200, please.
Hang on, I'll just put on some applause for
I like shoes.
Marie. Offbeat Museums for 200. Next time you're roaming through North Dakota, visit the museum of this animal and its herd of about 30.
Buffalo.
Buffalo is correct. Lots of buffalo in North Dakota. David Doss, you're in control.
Offbeat Museums 300.
Offbeat Museums 300. In Austin, Minnesota, you can ham it up at the museum of this meat production. This meat product in a can. Did you say spam?
Spam.
Spam. You know, my kids love spam because when we go camping, we have spam, and I'm like trying to tell them it's terrible food. They think it's the best.
They associate the happy memories with it.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's the memories. David, Offbeat Museums, 400 or 500?
Offbeat Museums, 400.
400. Sweet. A museum in Leavenworth, Washington displays over 6,000 of these nifty tools, many resembling toy soldiers.
Nutcracker.
Well done, David. Absolutely. You have nailed some very obscure questions. I think you could go on the real show.
I got all the obvious ones wrong, though. So.
Wow. Last question.
Let's do Offbeat Museums 500.
Get a whiff of the Brimstone Museum in southeast Louisiana and learn all about mining for this element.
Sulfur.
Sulfur. Well done, David Doss.
Yay!
Is that from chemistry class?
I was just thinking fire and brimstone, like the sulfur pits of hell or whatever.
Yeah. And Shrek.
So,
that's what I was thinking.
yeah, there we go.
Well, thank you. Wonderful guests. You've done very well. Let's do a quick score check. David ended up on 3,500, Marie on 300, and Rhonda on 1,500. A good effort. Some tough questions there. All right, David Doss, you're the winner. You're also on the left spot, so you can kick things off here. Tell us a little bit about what you're up to and what is CKC Fund.
Yeah, so CKC is a emerging asset manager and program manager focused on the blockchain and digital asset ecosystem. So we build out digital asset management strategies, and we also consult and advise corporations and startups on their blockchain and Web3 strategy.
David, this is my favorite topic. I'm an absolute expert on blockchain. Just kidding, I know nothing. Tell us a bit about what is the difference between this. Why should people be learning about these types of things, and what can they do that other similar non-blockchain funds can't do?
Right. So in terms of the asset management side of it, digital assets have been some of the best performing assets of all time. With, Bitcoin is up thousands upon thousands of % since its inception. And at the same time, though, emerging assets emerging asset classes tend to be very volatile. So, think, say, the 90s with the .com movement, or let's say also even railroads back, a couple hundred years ago. These were sort of gold rush opportunities with a huge boom, but also with a lot of risks. So what asset managers in the space come in and do is basically mitigate that risk and help people and businesses to mitigate risk. And then on the technology side, in terms of implementation of blockchain as a technology, there are a variety of use cases which can range from, for example, businesses accepting cryptocurrency as a form of payment, say on a e-commerce website, or using blockchain to track systems, for example, for supply chain. A variety of exciting new use cases.
Yeah, because it's all kind of measurable ledger style things, and you can set up all of these flows around them. But what if I was somebody? What type of people have a problem that come to you? So are they people that want to invest in crypto, they don't know how, or do they have a startup and they want to incorporate crypto into it? Who are the people that you work with?
Yeah, so on the asset management side, we work with high net worth individuals, family offices, corporations that have some sort of let's say treasury management needs around digital assets, or that are looking to basically diversify their holdings. And then on the consulting and advisory side, we work primarily with startups as well as small to medium enterprises that are looking to incorporate blockchain into their strategy and into their operations.
And are you finding that? A few years ago, everyone was kind of still negative and on crypto, and I was watching either a baseball game or a UFC event or something, and it was at crypto.com arena, and I was like, wow, this is definitely happening. So I guess there's a lot more acceptance now that this is going to be around, and it's a great thing. And the question I had was, are you finding that things are starting to finally go mainstream?
So it comes in waves, but it's upward trending waves, much like, say, stock prices of the S&P 500 or such things. So there's a lot of volatility in the price, and with that, a lot of volatility in people's perceptions, because you have, people looking to kind of, let's say, looking for job security in having an opinion on something, who will, at any given point, if it's up week on week or down week on week, they'll be saying this is the best thing or the worst thing since sliced bread, right? But looking at it, zoomed out over a decade, it's very, very much up. That being said, the cycles that we've seen, we had a huge bull market in 2017 to early 2018, followed by a significant lull for over the course of a few years, and then another bull run in 2021, followed by another bear market, and then now we seem to be heading into the next wave of kind of enthusiasm for the space. And I think that's the part of that's cyclical, but long term, I think the adoption and the acceptance of this is trending upward, with major companies like BlackRock or MicroStrategy, talking about their blockchain and digital assets adoption and focus.
And you guys, you're doing podcasts, so you're obviously got a strategy that you're wanting to attract certain businesses. What specific types of people are you personally dealing with or trying to have conversations with?
Yeah. So on the asset management side, we help wide range of individuals basically with it. It can be individuals, say individual investors, angel investors, or it can be more, wealth management groups, family offices, as well as registered investment advisors. We work with basically people who are looking to get portfolio exposure to the digital asset space in a way that's risk mitigated, diversified, actively managed, as well as we look to develop relationships with people who have those types of clients, such as wealth managers or private banks or investment advisors.
Finance guys with clients, and they are thinking, how can I offer some sort of crypto product? And you can offer a way for these people to invest in the crypto markets. And do they generally, are they just holding Bitcoin? Is that the main thing? Or are people trying to, are there other ways to invest?
Right, that's a good question. Well, to finish answering your other question, so on the asset management side, we talked about that. On the consulting and advisory, this can range to more, let's say, small to medium enterprises that are looking to basically use blockchain to drive more revenue and more functionality for their clients. And that can range from, I would say, the broader digital economy, which can include e-commerce, fintechs, software as a service products. There's a range there. To answer your other question as well, maybe I'll answer a question with a question. How many cryptocurrencies do you think are out there?
Well, there's like about there's kind of 4 or 5 main ones that I know about, and then there's all the kind of alt ones or whatever they're called, and dog coins and all that stuff. I have no idea how many. There's probably thousands, is it?
Yeah. So in fact, there are thousands. There are about 25,000 last I checked, and that number can fluctuate. But to that point, what we can often help with is basically actively managing portfolios of 40, 50, 60 of these that are intelligently evaluated and selected, diversified across different use cases, somewhat similar to how you might have a portfolio of stocks, and you could have your high caps, your mid caps, your low caps. You could have.
I think I understand. So you're like a crypto stockbroker.
Somewhat a crypto portfolio manager.
Yeah, and just help people as a mediator and say, look, you could get into some of these. These ones are pretty stable. These ones are connected to fintech. They're probably going to go good. And then you guys advise people. And would you take a setup, a once-off? A fee per whatever, or do you how does that work?
Yeah, so it depends. We manage. We're a hedge fund manager, and then we also run managed accounts for people and for organizations. So it depends on whether people want to be kind of investing as a group or are on their own.
Yeah, I reckon a managed account sounds like a good idea, because there's a lot of things. There is still a lot of volatility in crypto in terms of if you don't know what you're doing, and there's a lot of people claiming to be in crypto, and there's all sorts of sketchy things associated with it, which are really not what crypto's about. So I think you need to have somebody who knows all about it. So if you want to reach out to David, I'll put his details in the show notes, and maybe if you fit one of the customer profiles that we talked about, you can have a chat with him. And thank you, David, for coming on.
Yeah, appreciate you having me on the show, Julian.
I did my best. I understood about 5% of that, but anyway.
That was great. Those are some of the important questions that even some of the big folks in let's say more traditional investing will ask. I think it's all about education at this point, where you don't know what you don't know, even if you're an expert in real estate or software or traditional finance. That there's always something new. So that's why we're here.
Wonderful. Well, that was interesting, and let's have a chat to the wonderful Marie Birtel in Hamburg, Germany. Marie, tell us a bit about what you've been up to. Did you enjoy the
Yes.
game?
Yes, it was very interesting. Very nice. I should have given some more answers, but I have no idea because I live in Europe. So, yeah.
There's no need to
But it's a
say
nice
that.
thing.
You participated and you did great. And you wrote a book
Good.
in 2024.
Yes.
Tell us about your book.
Yes. So I'm a psychological advisor and I'm an author, and I specialized in the topic of narcissism, but not only narcissism, more about the covert version of narcissism that is
Did
not
you say
so
covert?
known until
Oh, gotcha.
now.
Yep.
Covert,
Yep.
yes, covert. So it's more about the narcissist that is hiding and putting himself or herself in a victim role. That is more complicated to really find out that this person is manipulative. And so I wrote the book. I published it this year. It was my first book. I published it in English, and it's called I Love You When, because the title tells about conditional love, whereas narcissists are not able to unconditionally love somebody, even not their own kids. And there's a very good psychologist and doctor in USA at this point. She also published a book about the facts and figures. And she once said, you are not going to be involved in this topic if you have not been personally involved in it, not by chance. So I'm also a victim of narcissistic abuse because I grew up in a family with a narcissistic mother and a narcissistic father. And the book that I wrote is more a self-help narrative. So I'm giving the perspective from a psychological field to explain a little bit like how this manipulative patterns are shown. And then also to jump with the readers from birth to 37 years old Emma, who's the protagonist in the book, to show a little bit how huge the impact is when you are growing up in this environment.
Yeah.
Because even if you are adult, then you're still how you say, like in a way attached to this energy. So it's more common that you fall in love with a narcissist again, because this is so.
If you've
so, and I'm trying
experienced
to
it
help.
growing up, you're more likely to get in a relationship. Is that what you said? With a narcissist.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yes.
gotcha. Okay. Yeah,
Yes.
it's a terrible
Yes.
thing, and I'm good at running away from narcissists, but if you
Good.
avoiding them. But if you're a child, that's the worst thing is what I think about, where having narcissistic parents, and they're always kind of chipping away or making it like, oh, well, you're stupid, why'd you do that? Or like, I've definitely seen it. I would say, I won't throw my dad under the bus. So he wasn't that bad, but he just had a bit of it in him. But if it's a lot more severe, it can be really disastrous. And what happens once you start to understand all of this? Are people able to recover? Are people able to make peace with the people who are like that in their life? Or do you just need to cut them off like a tumor?
So this is very individual, because as you said, there are narcissistic tendencies. In a way, you can only use the word narcissist when you have a diagnosis from a doctor. But no, as far as I know, a lot of narcissists are not going to see a psychological help or a doctor. It's usually the victims who need to get therapy because they are open to speak about it. You can get, if you are aware of the pattern that is building your life with all people around you, like friendships. I've always been like, in a way, addicted also to drama, because I knew it from my childhood. So there was always drama. So you also get to be aware of what your body symptoms also show, because there's a lot of like eating disorders things. Also, it's like a drug. You have to know like the nervous system understands the drama like a push. So you get addicted to it. So usually when people are coming out of this toxic environment, they are bored and they are getting depressed because they need the drama in a way. So it's possible to get out of the environment. You can also, I work a lot with clients and it's very individual. So I wouldn't say like in general how you do it. But so my way was to totally go no contact with my family, because it was either my family or nobody else, because this was like a sect, if you are like, you know, leaving a sect. So I have a twin brother and an older brother, and I was only having a problem, wanted to be a little bit away from my mother. And immediately it was like everybody was not allowed to talk anymore. There have been like smear campaigns built around me. She would tell people I'm heroine addicted and I've never had drugs in my life. So things like this if things like this happen, I would say like you really have to get out of the contact, because you are not able to heal in this toxic environment. But there are cases where you can handle the situation, and this is very individual. Yeah.
Did your brother... Sorry to ask personal questions, but I guess it's a personal topic. Did your brother stay in contact? Are you in contact with your brother?
No, they all cut me off because I'm the scapegoat, because I said the truth, and this is what happens when you're traumatized, like in a toxic system. It's not only the narcissist, but it's also the people around, like they are called enablers.
Yeah.
So for their own peace, to not focus on their own drama or trauma that they also had when they were children. And there has been a lot abusive, like physical abuse, things like this. They don't want to focus on it.
Yeah.
And then it's more easy to get rid of the, you know, me or the one who is speaking out the truth.
Yeah. Then deal
and
with
that's
their
what
own
they do.
problems. Yeah.
Yes. So the contact is totally gone. Yeah.
Yeah. It's always people that have a lot of trauma and damage that do this, and often they are unable to understand that, or it takes another generation. So if somebody is watching this and they're thinking, look, this is what I'm in, maybe they could do your workbook, which addresses the issue. And then what can they expect if they go through and have a look at your workbook, Marie?
Yeah, so what they gain is clarity about the situation. It's a mixture of also a lot of book recommendations, like not only my book, but also other books that are out there and that are very good. There's also a lot of not so good things, but I've made a list out of this, and I work a lot with the body, and you can go through these examples, like work on your own and figure out and get a little bit more clarity, like if you are in a toxic relationship or environment. Because the problem, what a lot of victims also always suffer from, is gaslighting. So they always question their own awareness, and if they are not the crazy ones. So the first step you have to go through is like to read and talk to somebody like, I'm not crazy, you know. So this is the first step, and it brings probably a lot of awareness to you and clarify the situation.
My son gaslights me. There was like some chocolate cake in the fridge, and he convinced me that I ate it. It was incredible. Just being silly there, but that's great. If you want to reach out to Marie, it's a serious topic, and life's too short to be lugging around toxic baggage, and it's time to deal with it and see if you can get away with it and heal. That's great, Marie. Thanks for coming on and sharing that. Marie Birtel.
Thank you so much.
Wonderful. Well, let's talk to Rhonda, the author and one-time television star. What TV show were you on, Rhonda?
Oh, I've been on Indy now, and I've been on The Price is Right. How's that for a big one?
How did you go on The Price is Right?
I was visiting in California, and they had opening in their audience, and so we decided to take a break and go in there and got the whole thrill. I highly recommend it for anybody. I'm kind of doing a little sideshow for the TV, for the different game shows, but
Yeah, talk about game shows. Did you? You were just in the audience. You didn't get to spin the
they
wheel.
did the interview. They showed us on. They are really good to make sure everybody's on camera. So everybody will, whether you're actually up with the host or whether you're just in the audience, their camera people are excellent at making sure that everybody gets on television and can wave at their families, etc. So
Was that with Drew Carey?
yes, that was with Drew Carey. I had always wanted it to be on my bucket list to do it when Bob Barker was there, but life didn't head that direction, so I still had to do the bucket list though and go anyway. But Drew Carey did a wonderful job. Thank you, Julian, for doing the Jeopardy. I'd never had that opportunity. David, I'm not a big knowledge bank on crypto, and Maria, your book sounds great. I would highly recommend people that are going through that or also maybe have experienced ACE experiences, adverse childhood experiences, to do some research on what those have done to you. I think that's wonderful. My book's a little different, though.
Tell us about your book, Crossroads.
Crossroads is a suspense novel. It is fiction, but all the locations in it are real locations in Indianapolis. So that it's 1982, Indianapolis. It's about a business and finance executive. There you go, David, right on your field. You'll understand that does mergers and acquisitions, but she's a workaholic and she gets called to jury duty. And what happens when jury duty occurs or you take a workaholic out of their normal environment? Everything falls apart. So not only do you have the Grisham feel of the courtroom drama, but you also find the Agatha Christie clues, because as she's in jury duty, things start happening to her. She starts, people around her start getting sick. She becomes ill. People start dying. And so it's up to the Indianapolis Police Department to find out why it happened. So the clues are all the way through it. But I've added a little twist to the normal fiction novel. The normal fiction novel is based only on the clues or the tension, but I wanted to do character development that used the DSM-5 manual, which is, for those that don't know, psychology. Psychology. So all the behaviors of the characters are real. So most people that like Crossroads that have provided input, they like the fact that they seem like they could have been the neighbor next door or their friend or something that had happened in their life or somebody they worked with.
Any covert narcissist in the book?
You probably could have called one of the characters that was a businessman that she did dealings with that felt like that had a very misogynistic point of view and felt like he could manipulate the main character into extending a loan that had no business, and he was in real estate. And in doing that, tried to manipulate her and browbeat her into it. Same thing with, the various characters explore emotional intelligence, which is anger, fury, and envy. And in Proverbs, it says, anger is cruel, fury is overwhelming, but who can stand before jealousy? Envy makes the bones rot. And
this
so
sounds like a very good book. And you've sold quite a few copies of it. And it's got very good reviews. What have you done to promote this book?
Well, first of all, I had a traditional publisher at first, and they pulled out after 2 years of us working on getting it to market. So I highly recommend that anybody writing a book or trying to market a book, explore your options. I was talking to a person that also went with a traditional publisher, and she had climbed the 7 tallest mountains in the world, the only woman ever to do it. and she had a traditional publisher, but they didn't want a mountain on the front of the book or anything that had to do with a mountain. So sometimes when you're with that traditional publisher, they kind of pigeonhole you into things that maybe as an artist isn't right for your book. So I hired a company called Mindster Media, which is also for anybody that's a Shark Tank person, JJ Herbert, Kevin Harrington, to help me put a package together, because I knew nothing about the publishing industry. And so they, as they worked with me on the book and the cover, and said, you really could benefit from Meryl Hemingway reading this novel. And if she agrees to do the endorsement, there you go. You're going to be a best-selling author. This is a good book. It deals with life balance and people that aren't paying attention to their lives. And, I was petrified of writing that letter, because it's like, why would she even care? And they said, no, she said, she's very down to earth. Let her read your book. So I sent the query letter, and she read it. And it took about 2 weeks that I got a letter back through Mindster. And she said that she would endorse it, write the foreword. And then she released a YouTube video for her book club saying, Meryl Hemingway endorses Rhonda Parker Taylor's Crossroads. And what she said in that really resonated with me as not only the author and someone from a small town, and thought, why in the world would anybody care about this book? She said, we all, and she explained that even her own life, she reached crossroads.
Wow.
Where she had to make decisions.
Is so I know Meryl Hemingway from movies. Is she related to Ernest Hemingway?
Yes, she is the granddaughter of the great author Ernest Hemingway.
And did Meryl write any books?
Yes, she's done children's books, and she also has a podcast that's Out Comes the Sun, that's all on mental health and making sure that you are not paying attention to your life. And I do believe she has some self-help that's out there too, but I have not read any of them. So don't tell her that.
I saw her in a movie with a serial killer. Do you know what that movie is? I can't remember.
That one I don't, but I do know the one from Lipsticks with Woody Allen, where it was like the first time where anybody kissed a young underage girl on the movie set.
It wasn't Woody's first time.
I'm sure it probably wasn't.
All right, well, that's excellent. And is this your first book, Rhonda, or not? Because
it is the first debut book. I have 4 more that I wrote in a series, and each one has a self-help book that's coming out. So Crossroads has a self-help book that's called Journey to Life Balance that should be out right after Christmas. And it's a workbook similar to yours, Maria, only it deals with how do you become the best version of yourself and find happiness through doing the exercises that will help you navigate. Are you pursuing all 13 dimensions of your life?
Well, and congratulations on your first book being a success. That often doesn't happen. My book, I sold about 5 copies and I bought 4 of them. Your first book is, I'd call it a hit. Is it on the bestseller list?
I don't know if it is today, but it has been on and off. It made the best-selling list in 3 categories, and fiction, women's, suspense, and jury trial books, which is like the Grisham category.
Yeah, that sounds great. Well, congratulations. And when's your next one coming out?
The workbook that takes life balance, takes the characters and uses them as case studies and does the workout that comes right after Christmas. And then in 2025, the second fiction book, which is on victimization mentality, takes one of the characters from Crossroads, and it should be out in 2025.
Oh, they're all going to be like a, what do you call it when all the books are related, like a series?
Yes, a series
right.
that then afterwards there'll be if someone relates to the series and the characters, they could go do the workbook to improve their own mentalities.
Well, that's fantastic. Have a look at Rhonda Parker Taylor's book Crossroads. The reviews are excellent. It's selling lots of copies, and it sounds very interesting with all that DSM stuff in the characters. Thank you very much for sharing that, Rhonda Parker Taylor. Wonderful. Well, I'm going to wrap things up. Thanks, guests. That was very interesting. I had fun and I learned lots. See you next time, everyone. Thanks for watching. Bye.